Hello everyone, I'm Reverend Dr. Roger Paul, and this is the 5th Epical Revelation Fellowship. I'm here with my wife Diane Paul tonight, and we're going to study paper 13, The Sacred Spheres of Paradise. And that starts on page 143 of the Urantia book, or paper 1301. And we'll say a little prayer and we'll get started. Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight that we might study this wonderful revelation and learn something new tonight. I pray that you'll bless this meeting as we go through it tonight, and pray that you'll bless those at home that listen to this message, and that they might learn something, and we might go out and share this with other people. We thank you and we give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen. And I'll start reading tonight. The Sacred Spheres of Paradise. Between the central Isle of Paradise and the innermost of the Havona planetary circuits, there are situated in space 3 lesser circuits of special spheres. The innermost circuit, excuse me y'all at home, I forgot to change the slide for you already. The innermost circuit consists of the 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father. The second group is composed of the 7 luminous worlds of the Eternal Sun. In the outermost are the 7 immense spheres of the Infinite Spirit, the executive headquartered worlds of the 7 master spirits. And this is the illustration of this, the central isle of paradise and the 3 separate circuits, the circuit of the Father, the circuit of the Son, and the circuit of the Spirit surrounding it. Now, also, all 3 of these, including paradise, well, paradise is stationary, but all the worlds move counterclockwise. Okay, or clockwise, I'm sorry. It's not counterclockwise, clockwise. Alright. Let's keep going. Let me get my clicker on here, make it a little bit easier here. Okay. I think it's... there we go. Sweetie, did you take the next one?
These 3 7-world circuits of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit are spheres of unexcelled grandeur and unimagined glory. Even their material or physical construction is of an order unrevealed to you. Each circuit is diverse in material, and each world of each circuit is different excepting the 7 worlds of the Sun, which are alike in physical constitution. All 21 are enormous spheres, and each group of 7 is differently eternalized. As far as we know, they have always been. Like paradise, they are eternal. There exists neither record nor tradition of their origin.
So as far as all the celestial beings is concerned, these 7 spheres, or these 3 circuits of 7 spheres, or 21, have always been and always will be. In other words, there's no origin history of them. They're just exactly like paradise. All right. The 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father, circulating about paradise in close proximity to the eternal are highly reflective. Hi, Rodney. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing right.
Good.
Hey, Rodney.
Rodney, we're on page 143, paragraph 3.
Gotcha.
Okay. Should I start over?
Yeah.
The 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father, circling about paradise in close proximity to the central isle, are highly reflective of the spiritual luminosity of the central shining of the eternal deities, shedding this light of divine glory throughout paradise and even upon the 7 circuits of Havona. Now, what's interesting about this paragraph they're talking about is they're talking about the spiritual luminosity of the eternal deities. Let me go down here and pull this next slide up. And what we're talking about here is basically the luminosity of the second of these worlds. Basically, go out from these worlds out to past the worlds into Havona itself. And they're talking about spiritual luminosity. They're not talking about what? They're not talking about physical luminosity, right? It's a spiritual luminosity. So it's probably made up of a different type of circuit than what we conceive it to be. It's not just light, it's a spiritual light, right? All right, let's keep going.
Probably has density.
Probably has density, yeah. What did I do there? Rodney, have you got my picture tonight?
I do, Roger. You're live.
I'm live. Oh, that's good. That's because it's probably just,
Hopefully it's going to last a while.
yeah.
Last time it froze up like 10 minutes later.
Yeah. We'll see how it does tonight. Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Okay. On the 7 sacred worlds of the eternal sun,
Hang on, Rodney. We got interrupted there. Rodney, you still there?
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Millie.
Millie.
I think I lost Rodney when I connected you here. See if we get him back. He was reading. Give it a second here. Saying it's trying to get the call back. Well, it's not having luck, apparently. Let me call you both back, all right? Millie?
okay.
Okay. Well, I got Millie back. I think. Millie, you there?
I'm here with Rodney.
Okay, it's trying to dial him back.
He was just there. I'm barking again.
Yeah, he was reading, and when I connected you, it cut him off. Well, call failed. Let me try to call him again. Millie, we're on 143, paragraph 4.
I heard you say something. I don't know what you said.
I said we're on page 143, paragraph 4.
I'm on page 143.
Okay. Well, I lost him again. Keep trying to connect him. You want to take it, dear?
Okay. On the 7 sacred worlds of the eternal sun, there appear to take origin the impersonal energies of spiritual luminosity. No personal being may sojourn on any of these 7 shining realms. With spiritual glory, they illuminate all paradise and nirvana, and they directionalize pure spirit luminosity to the 7 super-universes. These brilliant spheres of the second circuit likewise emit their light, light without heat, to paradise and to the billion worlds of the 7 circuit central universe.
So it's a light without heat. It's different than any light that we conceive of physical light, right? Because it's a spiritual luminosity rather than just light. So that makes it totally different. Let's try to add him back again here. Here we go. Rodney, you back?
Yeah, Houston, we had a problem.
Yes. We did. We did. Okay.
Not on fly.
Got
All right.
How was the screen that's about the cool light?
Yes, it was. It's talking about spiritual light that's light without heat, right? And which is different than regular light. Okay.
More of a fluorescent type.
Like a fluorescent light. That's right. Probably closer to that. And let me. Now I have all these slides in a large format tonight. See, that's the second, the first one, the second one, and now we're going to talk about the third one, so we can see these a little bit better, hopefully, behind me. Okay, Millie, would you take the 7 worlds of the infinite for the next paragraph?
Yes.
Come on, my speakers up.
Yeah, you're good.
The seven worlds of the infinite spirit are occupied by the seven master spirits who preside over the destinies of the seven super universes, sending forth the spiritual illumination of the third person of deity to these creations of time and space. And all Havana, not the Isle of Paradise, is bathed in these spiritualizing influences.
Okay, and this is what this looks like. This is the seven worlds of the infinite spirit. This is also where the seven master spirits dwell, right? Okay. Come on. Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Sure. Okay, I'm still plugged in. Although the worlds of the Father are ultimate status spheres for all Father-endowed personalities, this is not their exclusive function. Many beings and entities other than personal sojourn on these worlds. Each world in the circuit of the Father and the circuit of the Spirit has a distinct type of permanent citizenship. But we think the Son's worlds are inhabited by uniform types of other than personal beings. Father fragments are among the natives of Divinity. The other orders of permanent citizenship are unrevealed to you.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is all the beings that are on these circuits. On the Father's worlds, they're unique on each and every one of them, but they think the ones on the second circuit, which is the Son's worlds, are uniform, are more of the same types of beings on each one of them. And we know that the seven master spirits live on the third circuit, the one of the infinite spirits. So each one of those master spirits is in charge of a super universe. So we know that's how that works, right? Okay, so let's keep going on to the next one. Here. Oops. All right. Sweetie, would you take the next one?
The 21 Paradise satellites serve many purposes in both central and super universes not disclosed in these narratives. You are able to understand so little of the life of these spheres that you cannot hope to gain anything like a consistent view of them, either as to nature or function. Thousands of activities are there going on which are unrevealed to you. These 21 spheres embrace the potentials of the function of the master universe. These papers afford only a fleeting glimpse of certain circumscribed activities pertaining to the present universe age of the grand universe, rather one of the seven sectors of the grand universe.
Okay, so the things that go on these spheres are so far above us, it's hard for him to even discuss with us what really happens, right? And that's what he's talking about here. And this next slide I have up here is just one of interest. And this shows us basically the direction of each of the paradise, or basically the worlds that surround paradise. They move in a clockwise direction. And then we have next the first section of the outer space bodies, all right, and they move in a counterclockwise direction. And the third one moves in a clockwise direction again. So what they're talking about is this. Let me bring this picture up, which is kind of interesting. This is basically what they're talking about. The worlds that surround paradise, the three circuits, move clockwise. And then the first level, okay, and that also includes what? The billion worlds of Havana, right? All right, and then the next level is the first level of the dark gravity bodies, right? And it moves counterclockwise. And then there's another ring of gravity bodies, and they move clockwise again. And then the seven super universes move clockwise. So this is like a big balancing wheel, right? This is another picture of the same thing. And here we can see the three rings of the planet, the seven rings of Havana, which makes 10 altogether, the two levels of dark gravity bodies, and then the seven super universes. Okay? Go on from there. All right. The seven sacred worlds of the Father. The Father's circuit of sacred life spheres contain the only inherent personality secrets of the universe of universes. Give me a second here. These satellites of paradise, the innermost of the three circuits, are the only forbidden domains concerned with personality in the central universe. Neither paradise and the worlds of the sun are likewise closed to personalities. But neither of those realms is in any way directly concerned with personality. So the beings on these planets are not one of personal beings. They're non-personal. Like what? Like the thought adjusters. Now we're only told about the thought adjusters because they affect us, right? We have them within us. But there are many other types of beings on the Father's worlds and these other planets that they don't share with us. These are other types of beings that they don't even talk about in the book, right? So there's millions and millions and millions of those out there that's not even discussed with us because they're not important to us in our life, on our ascension plan, right? All right. Millie, would you take the next one?
The paradise worlds of the Father are directed by the highest order of the stationary sons of the Trinity, the trinitized secrets of supremacy. Of these words I can tell little. Of their manifold activities I may tell less. Such information concerns only those beings who function thereon and go forth therefrom. And though I am somewhat familiar with the 6 of these special worlds, never have I landed on Divinington. That world is wholly forbidden.
Okay, and this is kind of interesting. This is a picture of the Father's worlds. And there are 10 secrets of supremacy on each and every one of these worlds. Okay, and each one of them have a different set of secrets that they withhold from certain types of beings. Now, the secrets we will learn will be what? Ascendington, and eventually, after we become Finaliters, we will learn the secrets of Cenarington, right? Because we will be sons of God. Ascendington, because we're ascending beings, that will be the first planet where we will learn the secrets of, and that's the secrets of Ascendington, right?
I don't like secrets.
I don't either.
Well, I guess we got to get used to them because there's going to be some any way you look at it. Rodney, would you take the next one?
Sure. One of the reasons for the secrecy of these worlds is because each of these sacred spheres enjoys a specialized representation or manifestation of the deities composing the Paradise Trinity. Not a personality, but a unique presence of Divinington, which can only
No, divinity.
appreciated.
Only a presence of divinity, Rodney, not Divinington.
Oh, sorry about
Yeah.
that. But a unique presence of divinity, which can only be appreciated and comprehended by those particular groups of intelligences resident on or admissible to that particular sphere. The trinitized secrets of supremacy are the personal agents of the specialized and impersonal presence of divinity. And the secrets of supremacy are highly personal beings, superbly endowed and marvelously adapted to their exalted and exacting work.
Okay, so these worlds, these secrets they're talking about, are different representations of deity for different worlds, right? And they're only appreciated by those beings that should be or allowed on those worlds. And that's why there are a secret, because if you're not allowed on that world, or you're not part of that divinity association, you would not understand it anyway. So it would be wasting your time to be there. And that's why they say in another part of the book that they do not allow, once we get to a certain type of being, we don't have curiosity for curiosity's sake. In other words, we don't go off and squelch our curiosity for for reasons that will not benefit us, right? So that's why these things are secrets. Okay? All right. See if I can get me to here. Sweetie, would you take that?
1. Divinington. This world is, in a unique sense, the bosom of the Father, the personal communion sphere of the universal Father, and thereon is a special manifestation of his divinity. Divinington is the paradise rendezvous of the thought adjusters, but it is also the home of numerous other entities, personalities, and other beings taking origin in the universal Father. Many personalities besides the eternal Son are of direct origin by the solitary acts of the universal Father. Only the Father fragments and those personalities and other beings of direct and exclusive origin in the universal Father fraternalize and function on this abode. Fraternize.
And fraternize and function on this abode. Okay, I have something of interest for y'all. You might find this interesting. When we fuse with our adjusters, we are not allowed any longer on Divinington, are we? Right? But think about it this way. We are very special in the fact that the fragment in which we fuse with came from Divinington. So in essence, our being has already been on Divinington, hasn't it?
True, yeah.
We're not allowed to land on the shores there any longer because that Father fragment has gone from what? A pre-personal fragment to a personal fragment of God when he fuses with us. So don't feel left out that you cannot go to Divinington. You came from Divinington, in essence, because of the Father fragment, right? So you have missed out on nothing. But there are many other fragments of God other than just the thought adjuster and other types of beings that are on this planet that they do not tell us about again, right? So, and those fragments may be for other universes or other types of beings or a whole gamut of different things. But we should feel fortunate that our Father fragment comes from Divinington, so we've already been on Divinington in essence, right? And if there's anything of value on Divinington that we should know about, who would tell us that? The Father fragment, right? God the Father. So, which I find is kind of interesting, that we came from there and yet we're not allowed to go back there because we've changed, right? All right. Which is an interesting concept if you think about it. All right. The secrets of Divinington include the secret of the bestowal and mission of thought adjusters, their nature, origin, and the technique of their contact with the lowly creatures of the evolutionary worlds is a secret of the paradise sphere. These amazing transactions do not personally concern the rest of us, and therefore do the deities deem it proper to withhold certain features of this great and divine ministry from our full understanding, insofar as we have come in contact with this phase of divine activity. We are permitted full knowledge of these transactions, but concerning the intimate details of this great bestowal, we are not fully informed. Now think about this. The secrets of Divinington are secrets of the thought adjuster bestowal on us. So this is our secret, is it not? So other types of beings that do not have thought adjusters, are not bestowed with thought adjusters, do not know these secrets, right? Only the thought adjusters that's bestowed in these beings. So in essence, the secret of Divinington is our secret to withhold, right? Even though we don't consciously know what it is, the thought adjuster does, right? So, but again, we cannot go back there once we've been there. But this picture is interesting because it shows us some of the other types of beings that are also residents on Divinington, and that includes the gravity messengers, okay, which they mention a little bit later, which is kind of interesting. So that's a manifestation from Divinington. All right. Millie, would you take the next one, please?
This sphere also holds the secrets of nature, purpose, and activities of all the forms of father fragments, of the gravity messengers, and a host of other beings unrevealed to you. It is highly probable that those truths pertaining to Divinington, which are withheld from me, if revealed, would really confuse and handicap me in my present work. And still again, perhaps they are beyond the conceptual capacity of my order of being.
Okay, so since
And I should add that this is a perfecter of wisdom.
right.
Yes.
It is. So he does not have a thought adjuster, so he would not have experience of Divinington, would he? Right, okay. Let's see here. Rodney, would you, I'm on the wrong one there.
Number 2, Sonarington.
Right,
This sphere is the bosom of the sun, the personal receiving world of the eternal Son. It is the paradise headquarters of the descending and ascending sons of God, when and after they are fully accredited and finally approved. This world is the paradise home for all sons of the eternal Son, and his coordinate and associate sons. There are numerous orders of divine sonship attached to this supernal abode, which have not been revealed to mortals, since they are not concerned with the plans of the ascension scheme, or human spiritual progression through the universes and on to paradise.
okay, so Sonarington, this is the second sphere of the Father's circuit, right? And Sonarington is the home of what? The sons of God. So that would make this Michael's home and all the Michael's homes, wouldn't it? And the interesting thing is it's also the homes of his sons. So that would include any ascending being that would come from his universe, including if perchance a Lananandek or Verandadek son or Melchizedek or any of them were allowed to go to paradise, they would be what considered sons of God. So eventually they would be allowed on this planet also. But what's really interesting about this is when we become finalitors, and not until after that, we are certified to visit and become part of this planet also, because we are what? We are sons of God. We're ascending sons. So we're part of that order of sonship, right? Okay. Sweetie, would you take the next one, please?
The secrets of Sonarington include the secret of the incarnation of the divine sons. When a son of God becomes a son of man, is literally born of woman, as occurred on your world 1900 years ago, it is a universal mystery. It is occurring right along throughout the universes, and it is a Sonarington secret of divine sonship. The adjusters are a mystery of God the Father. The incarnation of the divine sons is a mystery of God the Son. It is a secret locked up in the 7th sector of Sonarington, a realm penetrated by none save those who have personally passed through this unique experience. Only those phases of incarnation having to do with your ascension career have been brought to your notice. There are many other phases of the mystery of the incarnation of the Paradise Sons of unrevealed types on missions of universe service which are undisclosed to you. All these are still other Sonarington mysteries.
Okay, so when we
And
get
there are still other
Sonarington mysteries. So when we're allowed to go to Sonarington, there are certain sections we will not be allowed to go into, won't there? Because those are the secret areas of the incarnation of the Michael sons, right? And other orders of sonship that have missions on planets, right? So we might be able to go to 6 sections of the planet, but not the 7th, because that does not deal with us. That is the secret of the bestowal sons of God. not the ascending sons of God. So there will be areas we're not allowed to go in, right?
I've got a feeling we're going to end up catching Millie behind the ropes over there.
Yes. Peeking in, right?
Not Millie.
Not Millie. All right. All right. The next is Urantia. Am I up here? Okay. This world is the bosom of the Spirit, the paradise home of the high beings that exclusively represents the infinite Spirit. Here foregather the seven master spirits and certain of their offspring from all universes. At this celestial abode may also be found numerous unrevealed orders of spirit personalities, beings assigned to the manifold activities of the universe not associated with the plans of the upstepping of mortal creatures of time and to the paradise levels of eternity. So, Spiritington, wouldn't you think that would be the home of all the angels and spirits and things like that that are ministering spirits? Would that make sense? I mean, why else do you think they would call it Spiritington, right? As the name.
And their offspring.
And they're the offspring of the infinite spirit, right? Yeah. All the ministering spirits are offspring of the infinite spirit.
And they have offspring.
And they have offspring sometimes, right? Now, who would be part of that? That would be the the local universe creative mother spirits, would it not be? So this would be considered their home, even though they never leave their local universe, right? Once they have taken up lodging in the local universe, they never leave the local universe, but this is always considered their home because this is where they come from, right? All right, let's keep going. The Secrets of Spiritington. Millie, would you take that one?
The secrets of Spiritington involve the impenetrable mysteries of reflectivity. We tell you of the vast and universal phenomenon of reflectivity, more particularly as it is operative on the headquarters worlds of the seven super universes, but we never fully explain this phenomenon, for we do not fully understand it. Thank you. Much, very much, we do comprehend, but many basic details are still mysterious to us. Reflectivity is a secret of God and Spirit. You have been instructed concerning reflectivity functions in relation to the ascension scheme of mortal survival, and it does so operate. But reflectivity is also an indispensable feature of the normal workings of numerous other phases of universe occupation. This endowment of the infinite spirit is also utilized in channels other than those of intelligence gathering and information dissemination, and there are other secrets of Spiritington.
Okay, so we've talked about reflectivity a little bit before, but we know that it's a communication way where the infinite spirit can instantly know anything that goes on in all the universes, right? But that's only one phase of what this reflectivity does. And they talk about here the intelligence gathering and information dissemination. So it works both ways, right? Both incoming and outgoing. But apparently this circuit also does many other functions that they don't tell us about, right? So just because we think we got a handle on what reflectivity might be, there are many, many, many other functions probably beyond imagination that they have not even told us about, because it's not something that concerns our ascension plan, right? Okay. Next, Vice Jerrington. Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Yes, number 4. And you did pronounce that Vice Jerrington?
Vice Jerrington, right. Jerrington, like Jerry, yeah.
Vice Jerrington. Sounds like a call through. This planet is the bosom of the Father and the Son, and it is the secret sphere of certain unrevealed beings who take origin by the acts of the Father and the Son. This is also the paradise home of many glorified beings of complex ancestry, those whose origin is complicated because of the many diverse techniques operative in the seven super universes. Many groups of beings foregather in this world whose identity has not been revealed to mortals.
Okay, now remember the seven ways in the seven super universes that's revealed the combinations of the Trinity, right? We have God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit. Then we have God the Father and God the Son, and God the Father and God the Spirit. Then we have God the Son and God the Spirit. And did I miss any of them? All the combinations? There's 7 combinations. So each one of these planets reveal some combination of that. And this particular planet is a combination of the Father and the Son. So the beings who'd be ancestry to this planet would be the beings created as a combination of God the Father and God the Son, right? And there's many, many of those that they have not told us about, right? Because it's not relevant to our ascension plan. But this is pretty interesting.
Is our Michael a being of the Father and Son?
Yes, he is. Michael is a being of the combination of the Father and the Son, right?
So those are the Creator sons.
That's right. And another interesting thing here is this slide I got up right now. It shows the architects of the Master Universe are part of Vice Jerrington. They are the combination, one of the beings that's the combination of the Father and the Son. Isn't that interesting? Some of these combinations, it's amazing that the beings that come out of this, right? But this is just one of the many, and many of them they just do not tell us about. Okay, let's go on. The secrets of Vice Jerrington.
The secrets of Vice Jerrington include the secrets of Trinitization, and Trinitization constitutes the secret of authority to represent the Trinity, to act as vicegerents of the gods. Authority to represent the Trinity attaches only to those beings, revealed and unrevealed, who are trinitized, created, eventuated, or eternalized by any 2 or all 3 of the Paradise Trinity. Personalities brought into being by the trinitizing acts of certain types of glorified creatures represents no more than the conceptual potential mobilized in that trinitization. Albeit such creatures may ascend the path of deity, embrace open to all of their kind.
Okay, so this is very, very important because at some point in the far, far future, we may try to take on trinitization. Okay, and it's important to understand the reason Vice Jerrington is the center for trinitization is because trinitization can be a representation of not only all 3 parts of the deity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, but it also can be a representation of any 2 of the Trinity. Okay, so that's why it's on Vice Jerrington. It's a combination of the Father and the Son, Vice Jerrington. Right? So, since the secret of trinitization involves any 2 or 3, that's why it's a secret of Vice Jerrington. And the interesting part about this is, as we go way, way down in the future, we may actually be chosen or choose to try to trinitize ourselves. Right? So, if that be the case and we become Trinity beings, this will be one of our planets that will be open to us also, right? Because we will go through the process of trinitization. So as you earn that right, these planets, what? Open up to you also, don't they? Kind of interesting. All right. And this is Vice Jerrington. If you'd like to see it in large format, it's the next picture here. As one more, Vice Jerrington, and there's Vice Jerrington right there. I'll put these all in order so I can get to it quicker. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Non-trinitized beings. That's me, isn't it? Non-trinitized beings do not fully understand the technique of trinitization by either 2 or 3 creators or by certain creatures. You will never fully understand such a phenomena unless, in the far distant future of your glorified career, you should essay and succeed in such an adventure, because otherwise these secrets of Vicegerentgen will always be forbidden to you. But to me, a high Trinity origin being, all sectors of Vicegerentgen are open. I fully understand, just as fully and sacredly protect the secret of my origin and destiny. Right? Because that's his origin. Alright. Millie, would you take the next one? Turn your mic back on, Millie. Really?
Just reading along. There are still other forms and phases of trinitization with which have not been brought to the notice of the Urantia people, and these experiences in their personal aspects are duly protected in the secret sector of Vicegerentgen.
Alright. And that's trinitization. Okay, the next planet is Solitarington.
That sounds
Right.
lovely.
Yeah, Rodney.
Say
Rodney?
me?
Yeah, please.
Solitarington, right?
That's right.
That's where they play cards.
Probably so.
This world is the bosom of the Father and the Spirit, and is the rendezvous of a magnificent host of unrevealed beings of origin in the conjoint acts of the Universal Father and the Infinite Spirit. Beings who partake of the traits of the Father in addition to their spirit inheritance.
Okay, so you notice on this planet, this is a combination of beings from the Father and the Spirit. You know how each planet has a different combination. So there's beings, these are beings that have traits of both the Father and the Spirit because they are created by that combination, right? Okay, and this is their planet. Alright. And we're going to find out something real interesting here in a second. Go on, Diane.
This is also the home of the solitary messengers and of other personalities of the super-angelic orders. You know of very few of these beings. There are vast numbers of orders unrevealed on Urantia. Because they are domiciled on the 5th world, it does not necessarily follow that the Father had aught to do with the creation of solitary messengers or their super-angelic associates. But in this universe age, he does have to do with their function. During the present universe age, this is also the status sphere of the universe power directors.
Okay, so it's interesting that in this picture that it shows that the architects of the Master Universe are part of Vicegerentgen. In actuality, they're part of Solitarington. Okay, so the solitary messengers and the architects of the Master Universe are both originate as have a home in Solitarington also, right? Which is the combination of what? The Universal Father and the Infinite Spirit. Now think about this. We're talking about the architects of the Master Universe being the combination of the Father and the Son. In reality, that's not the case. Okay? That's a misunderstanding. It is actually the combination of the Father and the Infinite Spirit, because what? The Infinite Spirit controls what? Part of matter, and that is part of the control of what? The Isle of Paradise, right? Alright, this can get confusing.
Did you say the architects live on this planet?
Yes, they do. This picture is not exactly right. That was the point I was trying to make. That I have.
Because it says that universe power directors, but right? So far, it didn't say architects.
I meant the,
It's in the
I'm
next
sorry.
paragraph.
Yes, I meant the, yeah. I'm sorry. The universe power directors. You're correct. I misquoted there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You are totally correct. All right. Who's up next? I think I just confused everybody completely, didn't I?
Yeah, you might want to go over that one more time.
Okay. The architects of the master universe are part of Vicegerrington, and the
Right.
Father and the Son. It's the universe power directors are part of Solitarington. Does that make sense?
No?
I stand corrected. I'm glad you caught that, Millie, because I'd have skipped right over that. I really am. Okay. So who we got next here?
It's a mystery.
Huh?
I think it's a mystery.
Millie, I think you're up next.
Me, okay.
Yeah.
Whoops. No, Roger, that's okay.
Yeah?
It starts the numerous additional orders, is that it?
Right, that's it.
There are numerous additional orders of spirit personalities, beings unknown to mortal man, who looked at Solitarington as their paradise home sphere. It should be remembered that all divisions and levels of universe activities are just as fully provided with spirit ministers as is the realm concerned with helping mortal man ascend to his divine paradise destiny.
Okay, just like the other planets, there's numerous orders of universe personalities that they don't tell us about, right? Because there's lots and lots of other functions that's going on in the universe that have nothing to do with what the ascension plan. You know, the world, that, believe it or not, the universe is not surrounded by just our ascension, you know. So, okay. So there are other functions. All right. Rodney, would you take the next one?
The secrets of Solitarington. Besides certain secrets of trinitization, this world holds the secrets of the personal relation of the infinite spirit with certain of the higher offspring of the third source and center. On Solitarington are held the mysteries of the intimate association of numerous unrevealed orders with the spirits of the Father, of the Son, and of the Spirit, with the threefold spirit of the Trinity, and with the spirits of the Supreme, the Ultimate, and the Supreme Ultimate.
Okay, so now think about this. We have the combination of what? The three here, right? God the Father, God the Son, and God the Spirit. It's also a manifestation of what? God the Supreme, God the Ultimate, and God the Supreme Ultimate. Okay? So as you see, it builds on every single one of these planets, the different combinations of all types of deity. Right?
Roger, I've got a comment or question.
Yeah.
Although I've read this before. I know the Supreme deals with the evolutionary 7 super universes, as well as the Ultimate deals with what we know as the 4 rings,
Right.
outer space
Outer
level.
space levels. Right.
And now we're talking about the Supreme Ultimate. I wonder what that deals with.
Well, can be a combination of both. Now, remember, the Supreme is the experiential part of God,
Exactly.
right? The Ultimate is more the combination of the deity and the unqualified, right?
All right.
Absolute. So the Supreme Ultimate is like the combination of both, all possibilities, right?
Oh, interesting.
So the Supreme is in our local 7 super universes. The Supreme will come in full fruition when the 7 super universes is done. The Ultimate when what? The 4 outer space levels. And the Supreme,
Yeah, maybe more. We don't know.
yeah, there may be more. And the Supreme Ultimate may be what is to come in the far distant future, you know, and in worlds and things that we don't even have concepts of yet, right? So, but it's like it's God, the deity of God is never exhausted. That's basically what it boils down to, right? It just keeps going on and on and on. And it's like the Energizer Buddy. It keeps going, Bunny. It keeps going and going.
Like you.
Yeah, that's right.
And this carousel never stops.
That's right. It just keeps going round and round and round we go. Where it stops, no one knows. Right? All right, let's keep going. Yeah.
6. Seraphington. This sphere is the bosom of the Son and the Spirit, and is the home world of the vast host of unrevealed beings created by the Son and the Spirit. This is also the destiny sphere of all ministering orders of the angelic host, including Supernophim, Seconophim, and Seraphim.
Seraphim.
There also serve in the central and outlying universes many orders of superb spirits who are not ministering spirits to those who shall be heirs of salvation. All these spirit workers in all levels and realms of universe activity look upon Seraphington as their paradise home.
Okay. The trouble with Seraphington, it should not be confused with what? Spiritington, right?
Okay.
Okay. Spiritington is for all spirits, right? Spirit-based entities, right? Seraphington is the combination of the Son and the Spirit, and that includes all angels, right? All angelic beings, all ministering hosts of the angelic orders, including Supernophim, which is what? Paradise level angels. Seconophim, which is super universe level angels, and Seraphim, which are local universe level angels.
And Roger,
Uh-huh.
the whole angelic order are considered ascending sons.
Are considered ascending sons, all of them. Even, I don't know if that's, Supernophim is included, would be included in that or not, Rodney, because Supernophim are more on the order of perfect angels, and Seconophim and Seraphim are more experiential type angels. Now, that is not 100% true, because Supernophim gains knowledge and experience down the opposite direction. They're more like these descending angels than ascending angels, right? But they're a perfected order of angels. So I would not consider them an ascending order like I would a Seconophim or a Seraphim. A Seraphim can basically follow us all the way to paradise and become finalators, can't they? Where I don't think that's an option for the Supernophim. I could be wrong about that, but I don't believe it is. But there's a whole host of other orders of ministering spirits, much like angels, that are that consider Seraphington their home also, right? And these are beings that's not told us, we're not told about. If we were told about every single order of being, we would have a book that would be thousands and thousands and thousands of pages, right? All right. Who's that? The secret of Seraphington involved a threefold mystery, only one of which I may mention: the mystery of the seraphic transport. The ability of various orders of seraphim and allied spirit beings to envelop within their spirit forms all orders of non-material personalities, and to carry them away on lengthy interplanetary journeys, is a secret locked up in the sacred sector of Seraphington. The transport seraphim comprehend this mystery, but they do not communicate it to the rest of us, or perhaps they cannot. The other mysteries of Seraphington pertain to the personal experiences of types of spirit servers as yet not revealed to mortals, and we refrain from discussing the secrets of such closely related beings because you can almost comprehend such near orders of existence, and it would be akin to betrayal of trust to present even our partial knowledge of such phenomena. Okay. what I want to mention here is number one is the seraphic transports, right? They envelop us. They have ability to cover us up and envelop us within their being to transport us. But these are non-material personalities. So, in order for a seraphim to envelop you and carry you to another planet, if you're a material being, what has to happen? You have to be dematerialized, right? That's what happens to the Adam and Eves when they go to a new planet. That's why they have to be rematerialized when they get to their planet of assignment. And they use the DNA from the beings on the planet. Okay? So, the material sons and daughters, when they go from our local universe headquarters, when they go from Jerusalem down to what? Earth or Urantia, they have to be dematerialized and rematerialized when they get on the planet. So when they got on Earth, what had to happen? They had to have a place to rematerialize them, and that's what they built on what? In the garden for them, wasn't it? The same thing has to happen when they decided to remove the children of Adam. Remember the story of Adam and Eve? They had to be dematerialized, right? So it's a major process for them to do this, and then they're enveloped by the seraphim and carried off to the mansion worlds, right? On their progression. And that's what the secret is they're talking about, the secret of Seraphington and the mystery of the seraphic transport. Now, when we get to the mansion worlds, or we progress up through on the way to paradise, that when we have to travel to a new area of space or a higher order of existence, we have to be transported by the seraphim or sekanophim or supernophim, depending on which area we're moving in, right? And they do the same function as the beginning seraphim on our planet, right? They envelop us inside of them, and then they can transport us safely from one sort of being existence to another. Does that make sense?
They must be huge.
They must be huge, and they must be very powerful beings, right, to be able to do this. Okay. Any other questions about that before I move on? It's really interesting to me, the power of these angels to be able to do this. All right, let's go on. Ascending to. Yeah, ascending to. Yeah. Millie?
7. Ascendington. This unique world is the bosom of the Father, Son, and Spirit, the rendezvous of the ascended creatures of space, the receiving sphere of the pilgrims of time who are passing through the Havona universe on their way to paradise. Ascendington is the actual paradise home of the ascendant soul of time and space until they attain paradise status. You mortals will spend most of your Havona vacation on Ascendington. During your Havona life, Ascendington will be to you what the reversion directors were during the local and super universe ascension. I don't get that. What did I say? During your Havana life, Ascendington will be to you what the reversion directors were during the local and super universe ascension. Here you will engage in thousands of activities which are beyond the grasp of mortal imagination, and as on every previous advance in the Godward ascent, your human self will here enter into new relationships with your divine self.
Okay, let me answer your question about
explain that sentence.
The sentence during your life, the reversion. That the sentence you're confused about, Millie?
Yes.
Okay.
Reversion directors.
Okay, during when we get to the mansion worlds, we will be entertained in essence by a group of beings called reversion directors, and they have to deal with rest, relaxation, and humor, and this is necessary for us to keep from getting too serious with ourselves, right? So the reversion directors basically entertain us and relaxes the tension in the life of the ascension plan, and gives us, in essence, vacation. It's kind of funny because when I recorded the video on death and dying for children, I talked about going with your parents on this journey, and you'll have lots of vacations, and it's funny that they mention it this way. I didn't even know it was in here. But that's in essence what the reversion directives are all about. It's kind of like a little vacation from the seriousness of the ascension plan. So when we get to Ascendington, basically we have the same experience of reversion. Or entertainment. It's a lightheartedness and a way to enjoy ourselves. So it's like a vacation. But Ascendington is really our home, our first home when we get on this level, because Ascendington is what has to do with what? The ascension plan. And it is what? The world of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, the combination of the Trinity. Okay? So this is basically our paradise home when we get there. Alright? So that's the way you have to think of Ascendington. The other thing that's interesting about this paragraph is the sentence about, as we make our Godward ascent, your human self, what we have left from our human experience, enters into a new relationship with your divine self. And that is what? The thought adjuster. So even though you have fused with that father fragment, you discover new ways to relate to that part of divine self, or your thought adjuster, to your human side, and blend and meld them together into a more growing person, right? So did that help clarify that a little bit, Millie? Did I lose you?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so that's Ascendington, and that's the last planet there.
So, Roger,
Yeah.
maybe to draw a parallel, reversion directors would sort of be like tour guides, and Ascendington would sort of be like Disneyland.
It would be like a heavenly Disneyland, right? That's a good illustration, right? But it's interesting they use the word vacation here too, because I felt kind of funny about using that word when you're trying to explain it to children. But that's, I said, when you get to the Habona spheres and you go through 1 billion worlds, you'll have lots of vacations with the people and your parents and things like that, because that's the normal thing. You work and you play. You work and you play, and that's what the vacation is about. And that wasn't an incorrect term, I guess. I'm glad I see it in here.
Lots of social directors.
Lots of social directors. That's right.
Find what it is you're going to do.
Yeah, it's like a heavenly cruise, right?
Yes.
All right.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Who's up next? Huh?
Okay.
Oh, okay, Rodney.
The secrets of Ascendington include the mystery of the gradual and certain building up in the material and mortal mind of a spiritual and potentially immoral counterpart of character and identity. This phenomena constitutes one of the most perplexing mysteries of the universes, the evolution of an immortal soul within the mind of a mortal and material creature.
And where do we start that, Rodney? We started here, don't we?
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I need to reread that.
We started right here on this planet, and this is one of the secrets of Ascendington, how we take the mortal mind, or the mortal intellect, and of a material creature, and start creating a immortal soul. And how do you do that? You do that through the thought adjuster and the mind circuit of the infinite spirit, right? It's the adjuster, the mind, and the spirit which makes the soul, right? So it's the building. That's part of the mystery of Ascendington. Kind of special if you think about it. This is a really long paragraph. Diane gets to read this one.
I can see it. You will never fully understand this mysterious transaction until you reach Sendington. And that is just why all of Sendington will be open to your wondering gaze. 1/7 of a Sendington is forbidden to
To me.
me. That
That's-
sector concerned with this very secret, which is, or will be, the exclusive experience and possession of your type of being. Okay. This experience belongs to your human order of existence. My order of personality is not directly concerned with such transactions. It is therefore forbidden to me and eventually revealed to you. But even after it is revealed to you, for some reason it forever remains your secret. You do not reveal it to us nor to any other order of beings. We know about the eternal fusion of a divine adjuster and an immortal soul of human origin, but the ascendant finaliters know this very experience as an absolute reality. You will never fully understand this mysterious transaction until you reach Ascendington, and that is just why all Ascendington will be open to your wondering gaze. 1/7 of Ascendington is forbidden to me, that sector concerned with this very secret, which is or will be the exclusive experience and possession of your type of being. This experience belongs to your human order of, I think that's.
I think I got this in here twice.
Twice.
Reread.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah,
there you go, we're gonna
yeah.
have a secret too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is repeating. Yeah, I apparently copied it, somehow got this copied twice in here. So,
it's okay.
anyway, basically what they're saying is this is the secret of us, isn't it?
Well, us.
It really is. It's just the secret of us. All right, let me see where the next slide is. I don't know if there's any more slides, period. I don't believe there are for... All right, no
Sometimes
more
it's just
pictures.
a change of word of son or spirit,
Yeah.
that's why I was reading them.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, dear. That was my mistake. All right. These two, the father-world relationship, that was all in section 1. The home worlds of the diverse orders of spiritual beings are tremendous and stupendous spheres. They are equal to paradise in their matchless beauty and superb glory. They are rendezvous worlds, reunion spheres, serving as permanent cosmic addresses. As finaliters, you will be domiciled on paradise, but Ascendington will be your home address at all times, even when you enter service in outer space. Through all eternity, you will regard Ascendington as your home of sentimental memories and reminiscent recollections. When you become 7th stage spirit beings, possibly you will give up your resident status on paradise. Okay, so this stays our resident throughout all eternity and well into the future. Millie, would you take the next one, please?
I can't imagine giving up resident status in paradise.
Oh, me either. They might have to...
If outer
Cry my
universes are
fingers
in the
off.
making, if they are to be inhabited by time creatures of ascension potential, then we infer that these children of the future will also be destined to look upon Ascendington as their paradise home world.
So all the outer space levels, those beings will consider Ascendington their world too, right? Rodney, would you take the next one, please?
Ascendington is the only sacred sphere that will unreservedly open to your inspection as a paradise arrival. Vice Carrington is the only sacred sphere that is wholly and unreservedly open to my scrutiny. Though its secrets are concerned in my origin and this universe age, I do not regard Vice Carrington as my home. Trinity origin beings and Trinitized beings are not the same.
So Trinity origin beings are beings created by the Trinity, right? And Trinitized beings are beings that are Trinitized by the 2 or 3 of the deities after they've already been another type of being, right? So there are two types of beings, right? Trinity origin and trinitized. Not the same thing, right? Okay.
The Trinity origin beings do not fully share the Father's worlds. They have their sole homes on the Isle of Paradise in close proximity to the most holy sphere. They often appear on Ascendington, the bosom of the Father, Son, Spirit, where they fraternize with their brethren who have come up from the lowly worlds of space.
Okay, and it's the brethren that comes up from the lowly worlds of space that may be trinitized, right? You see the difference? Okay. You might assume that creator sons, being of father-son origin, would regard Vicegerrington as their home, but such is not the case in this universe age of the function of God the sevenfold. There are many similar problems that will perplex you, for you are sure to encounter many difficulties as you attempt to understand these things which are so near paradise, nor can you successfully reason out these questions. You know so little. And if you knew more about the Father's worlds, you would simply encounter more difficulties until you knew all about them. Status on any of these secret worlds is acquired by service, as well as by nature of origin, and the successive universe ages may and do redistribute certain of these personality groupings, right? So you would think that the creator sons were part of Vicegerrington, but they're not, right? That's the point here. Okay, let's keep going. Millie, would you take the next one?
Got it. The worlds of the inner circuit are really fraternal or status worlds more than actual residential spheres. Mortals will attain some status on each of the Father's worlds save one. For example, when you mortals attain Hamonum, you are granted clearance for Ascendington, where you are most welcome, but you are not permitted to visit the other 6 sacred worlds. Subsequent to your passage through the Paradise regime, and after your admission to the core of finality, you are granted clearance for Cenarington, since you are sons of God, as well as ascenders, and you are even more. But there will always remain 1/7 of Cenarington, the sector of the incarnation secrets of the divine sons, which will not be open to your scrutiny. Never will those secrets be revealed to ascendant sons of God.
So we earn these spheres one at a time, don't we? Okay, over time. Rodney, would you take the next one?
Eventually, you will have access to Ascendington and relative access to other spheres of the Father, except Divinington. But even when you are granted permission to land on 5 additional secret spheres, after you have become a finaliter, you will not be allowed to visit all sectors of such worlds, nor will you be permitted to land on the shores of Divinington, the bosom of the Father, though you shall surely stand repeatedly at the right hand of the Father. Never, throughout all eternity, will there arise any necessity for your presence on the world of the thought adjusters.
Now think about this. This may be for the benefit of you and the thought adjusters, because the inexperienced thought adjusters do not have the experience yet. And if you showed up there and started telling them things to come, it would give them an advantage and not allow them to experience it for themselves, right? So it's for both beings that this is the way, right? Right.
Sounds like it would cause a short circuit or something.
It might. You never know.
These rendezvous worlds of spirit life are forbidden ground to the extent that we are asked not to negotiate entrance to those spheres, those phases of these spheres which are wholly outside our realm of experience. You may become creature perfect, even as the universal Father is deity perfect. but you may not know all the experiential secrets of all other orders of universe personalities. When the Creator has an experiential personality secret with his creature, the Creator preserves the secret in eternal confidence.
So he does that with all beings, right? Have their own secrets of originality, right? All these secrets are supposedly known to the collective body of the Trinitized secrets of supremacy. These beings are fully known only by their special world groups. They are little comprehended by other orders. After you attain paradise, you will know and ardently love the 10 secrets of supremacy who direct Ascendington. Accepting Divinington, you will also achieve a partial understanding of the secrets of supremacy on the other worlds of the Father, though not so perfectly as on Ascendington. Millie.
Got it.
Right.
The Trinitized secrets of supremacy, as their name might suggest, are related to the Supreme. They are likewise related to the Ultimate and to the future Supreme Ultimate. These secrets of supremacy are the secrets of the Supreme and also the secrets of the Ultimate, even the secrets of the Supreme Ultimate.
So this is property of the Supreme, the experiential part of God, right? All right.
Okay, my turn.
Yes. 3.
Number 3, the secret worlds of the eternal sun. The 7 luminous spheres of the eternal sun are the worlds of the 7 phases of pure spirit existence. These shining orbs are the source of the threefold light of paradise and nirvana, their influence being largely, but not wholly, confined to the central universe.
And let me see if I can find that picture again for you. This is the worlds of the sun, right? No, I'm on the wrong picture. There we go. This is the worlds of the sun, right? The second ring order. Okay? All right.
Personality is not present on these paradise satellites. Therefore, is there little concerning these pure spirit abodes, which can be presented to the mortal and material personality. We are taught that these worlds teem with the otherwise than personal life of the beings of the eternal sun. We infer that these entities are being assembled for ministry in the projected new universes of outer space. The paradise philosophers maintain that each paradise cycle, about 2 billion years of Urantia time, witnesses the creation of additional reserves of these orders on the secret worlds of the eternal sun.
So these are pure spirit beings without personality. And these are beings that are preparing for the outer space levels, right? So, there's a reason they don't have us there. We would not relate to them in any shape, form, or fashion.
Well, Roger, you're live. You're not live for me right now. It's
Oh.
sort of stuck on the Father, so I can't really see your poster. But
You stopped. For a while I could see what you were doing, and now I can't.
yeah, you froze. So my question is, of course, there's 7 worlds of the Father.
Right.
There's 7 for the eternal Son as well as for the infinite Spirit.
That's right.
And what we're saying here is the 7 worlds of the Sun. It's purely spiritual. It has nothing to do with our ascending career.
Right. Right.
7 worlds.
Yeah.
But also what it's saying is that they have to do with the outer space levels.
That's right. Yeah. Beings, non-personal beings.
Non-personal spirit beings.
That's right. That's right. Which
do
we.
not have personality. That's strange.
Yeah. That it's right.
Can't comprehend it.
Think of them as along the same line as the thought adjusters. The thought adjusters are non-personal beings, right? So there's some type of being that's on these planets that are the result of the eternal sun, a creation of the eternal sun, that are getting ready for being used out into the outer space levels. Now, the question, it may be something along the line, the reason they're non-personal is they may merge with some other type of personal being created by God the Father or God the Spirit, right? To work out in the outer space levels, or it could be something totally unrelated to that. We don't know. But they are a type of being that we don't really understand. That's the whole point of this. So
I'm curious in that, as far as the timeline goes, the book never really says what paradise cycle we happen to be in, right?
yeah, we're in mid-range of the expansion phase.
No, what I mean is, paradise cycle is both, is 2 billion years.
2 billion years, yeah. Just like the
Don't say
yeah.
what cycle we're in.
Well, no. Well, it does say that we're in the expansion cycle right now, but that's all it really mentions as far
What I
as.
mean is a cycle is, 1 billion years expanding, 1 billion years contracting.
Right.
It's the cycle, paradise cycle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say what cycle the evolutionary worlds are in. It's what I'm getting at is, although probably 1 billion or so years has passed since we have been created
Yeah.
right now. We're talking about us right here.
Yeah.
It's almost as if this is still in its infancy.
Oh yeah, it's at the very infancy if you think about it. It really is. All right, I'm going to keep going. As far as I am informed, no personality has ever been on any of these spheres of the eternal sun. I have never been assigned to visit one of these worlds in my long experience in and out of paradise. Even the personalities co-created by the eternal sun do not go to these worlds. We infer that all types of impersonal spirits, regardless of parentage, are admitted to these spirit homes. I am a person and have a spirit form. No doubt such a world would seem empty and deserted even if I were permitted to pay it a visit. High spirit personalities are not given to the gratification of purposeless curiosity, purely useless adventure. There is at all times together too much of intriguing and purposeful adventure to permit the development of any great interest in those projects which are either futile or unreal. That's the quote I was talking about earlier, right? All right. Rodney, or Millie, would you take the next one? The Worlds of the Infinite Spirit.
Yes, and I don't even have a still picture of you now, you're circling.
Am I?
Number 4,
Okay.
the worlds of the infinite spirit. Between the inner circuit of Avona and the shining spheres of the eternal sun, there circle the 7 orbs of the infinite spirit, worlds inhabited by the offspring of the infinite spirit, by the trinitized sons of glorified creative personalities, and by other types of unrevealed beings concerned with the effective administration of the many enterprises of the various realms of universe activity.
Okay, let me see if I can find this one. Picture of each one. I could be wrong. There we go. There's the world of the infinite spirit right there. All right. Rodney, would you take the next one?
Okay, the 7 master spirits are the supreme and ultimate representatives of the infinite spirit. They maintain their personal stations. Their power focuses on the periphery of paradise, but all operations concerned with their management and direction of the grand universe are conducted on and from these 7 special executive spheres of the infinite spirit. The seven master spirits are, in reality, the mind, spirit, balance wheel of the universe of universes, and all-embracing, all-encompassing, and all-coordinating power of central location.
Okay, I want to bring the large picture of this, and I know y'all can't see me anymore. So, let me see if I can find the right one here to explain this, and you can look at it later in the recording if you want to. But basically what we have is a picture of paradise and the third ring of the planets around paradise. Now what they're talking about here is the master spirits, okay, the seven master spirits. There's one for each of the seven universes, and they're basically their circuit starts on paradise and goes out to each one of the master spirits on the planet, and from there it goes out to the seven super universes, right? Okay, so it looks like a big spoke with, out at the end of the spoke has a big V that covers the whole master universe, right? And that's what they're talking about here. If you could see it, the circuit itself. Okay, so it's the seven master spirits are in essence the balancing wheel, everything spirit and everything mindal of the seven super universes. Okay, so that's kind of the glue that keeps everything together, right? In the seven super universes. All right, go ahead, dear.
I think it's the master.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry, Millie. Would you take the next one? Turn your mic back on, Millie.
Got it. From these seven special spheres, the master spirits operate to equalize and stabilize the cosmic mind circuits of the grand universe. They also have to do with the differential spiritual attitude and presence of the deities throughout the grand universe. Physical reactions are uniform, unvarying, always instantaneous and automatic, but experiential spiritual presence is in accordance with the underlying conditions or states of spiritual receptivity inherent in the individual minds of the realms.
Okay, so like I said, they're the balancing wheel, right, of the mind-spirit activities. All right, Rodney, would you take the next one?
Yeah, I was just interested in that last paragraph. It sounds like anything material is spontaneous, yet if it's spiritual, it's different.
Well, yeah, it is, Rodney.
It's not spontaneous.
You have to remember too that the gravity circuits, which we talked about these circuits before, but the gravity circuits come out of paradise itself, right? But it's the infinite spirit that controls the matter and the reaction of mind and matter. So these master spirits are the functioning of this infinite spirit, right? So they work in relationship with the infinite spirit for the control of both the matter and the mind, right? You can't separate the two. You can't just have gravity without the mind control of the infinite spirit, right? It's all integrated. That sounds like totally separate parts, but they're really integrated into the same being, right? And part of the Trinity, or part of the seven absolutes anyway. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, physical authority, presence, and function are unvarying in all the universes, small or great. The differing factor in spiritual presence or reaction is the fluctuating differential and its recognition and reception by world creatures, whereas the spiritual presence of absolute and existential deity is in no matter whatever, influenced by attitudes of loyalty or disloyalty on the part of created beings. At the same time, it is true that the functioning presence of sub-absolute and experiential deity is definitely and directly influenced by the decisions, choices, and will attitudes of such finite creature beings, by the loyalty and devotion of the individual being, planet, system, constellation, or universe. But this spiritual presence of divinity is not whimsical or arbitrary. Its experiential variance is inherent in the free will endowment of personal creatures.
Okay, so think about this. The universe and God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, all that is deity is constant, right? But our free will determines how much of this influence and how much of this perfection comes into fruition or comes into existence by our allowance, our free will endowment of us allowing God to reveal himself through the universe and through his creatures. Right? Does that make sense? So it's the free will of the person, the planet, the system, the universe, the constellation, all these have free will, and so it's our relationship to these decisions we make as how much God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit comes through to our universe, because this is the experiential universe. If it were perfection, whatever the will of God was would be all the time, right? But since it's experiential, we have decisions to make it perfected. So that's part of our becoming perfected and the universe becoming perfected, right? Does that make sense? Sure. Roger? Makes perfect sense. Okay. Go ahead, dear.
The determiner of the differential of spiritual presence exists in your own hearts and minds, and consists in the manner of your own choosing, in the decisions of your minds, and in the determination of your own wills. This differential is inherent in the free will reactions of intelligent personal beings whom the universal Father has ordained shall exercise this liberty of choosing. And the deities are ever true to the ebb and flow of their spirits in meeting and satisfying the conditions and demands of this differential of creature choice, now bestowing more of their presence in response to a sincere desire for the same, and again withdrawing themselves from the scene as their creatures decide adversely in the exercise of their divinely bestowed freedom of choice. And thus does the spirit of divinity become humbly obedient to the choosing of the creatures of the realms.
So how much of God comes through to our life and our existence is determined by our free will choice, right? Okay, the executive abodes of the seven master spirits are in reality the paradise headquarters of the seven super universes. This is what we're talking about, right? And their correlated segments in outer space. Each master spirits over one universe, and each of the seven worlds is exclusively assigned to the one master spirit. There is literally no phase of the sub-paradise administration of the seven super universes which is not provided for on these executive worlds. They are not so exclusive as the spheres of the Father or those of the Son, and those resident status is limited to the native beings and those who work thereon. These seven administrative planets are always open to all beings who desire to visit them, and who can command the necessary means of transit, which would be what? Seraphim, right? Or Supernaphim in this case.
What does that mean when who can command?
Who can command. In other words, if you have the right to travel and traverse this space, you will not earn this right until you get to Havana. So if you wanted to go from here right now, you could not, because we have not earned that space. So even if we could get a seraphim, he would not take you there. You can't command him to take you there, and that's what they're talking about here. They will only take... Huh?
You need a ticket to ride.
You have to have a ticket to ride. You have to have earned that space. That would not be, in our case, a earned space yet, right? Okay. Millie, I think you're up next again.
To me, these executive worlds are the most interesting and intriguing spots outside of paradise. In no other place in the wide universe can one observe such varied activities, involving so many different orders of living beings, having to do with operations on so many diverse levels, occupations at once material, intellectual, and spiritual. When I am accorded a period of release from assignment, if I chance to be on Paradise or in Havana, I usually proceed to one of these busy worlds of the seven master spirits, there to inspire my mind with such spectacles of enterprise, devotion, loyalty, and wisdom, and effectiveness. Nowhere else can I observe such an amazing interassociation of personality, performances on all seven levels of universe reality, and I am always stimulated by the activities of those who well know how to do their work and who so thoroughly enjoy doing it.
So
This paper was presented by a perfecter of wisdom, commissioned thus to function by the Ancients of Days on Universa.
So even though he's a high order of being, he still likes to go observe the master spirits and all their associates working to do the will of God out in the universe.
And he can.
And he can. That's right. That's amazing, isn't it? What a great paper. Let's have a little prayer and we're closed for tonight.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Rodney, would you like to close us tonight with a prayer? You out there, Rodney?
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 No. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Would you like to
When you
close?
guys started, I couldn't understand what was being said. You were coming in and out.
Oh, okay. All right.
What was said now?
Oh, we were just saying that it's amazing that this order of being enjoys going to the planet and observing all the functions of the master spirits. You know how?
Yeah, the perfecter of wisdom.
Yeah, yeah. So even the order of that being enjoys it. So anyway, well, Rodney, would you like to say a closing prayer for us tonight?
All right. Roger, I'm gonna read a prayer from the book here.
That'd be great.
Our perfect and righteous Heavenly Father, this day guide and direct our journey. Sanctify our steps and coordinate our thoughts. Ever lead us in the ways of eternal progress. Fill us with wisdom and the fullness of power. Revitalize us with your infinite energy. Inspire us with the divine consciousness of the presence and guidance of the seraphic host. Guide us ever upward in the pathway of light. Justify us fully in the day of the great judgment. Make us like yourselves in eternal glory. And receive us into your endless service from high. And may your will be done, our Heavenly Father. Amen.
Amen. Okay, thank you for joining us at home, and please come see us again. God bless you all. Y'all hang on, and we'll say our good nights.